I was a vegetarian for quite some time, and then I watched a documentary called Forks Over Knives, and that just changed my world. And it's not one of those videos that have like show you like gory, bloody stuff. It's just a documentary that explains the correlation between diet and health, and that's it. And I just remember learning this information about how much, you know, dairy affects our bodies in a pretty damaging way, you know, and I've never looked back since. And so at that point I cut out dairy and eggs and obviously all that stuff. And so I think that was about maybe 7 years ago. I looked at my makeup line and I realized that there was ingredients that were animal based, and so I spent the money and I took the time and the effort and reformulated those existing formulas, and now I can proudly say that it's 100% vegan. One of the shades had carmine in it, and so we found a really great substitute made out of beets, which is still an organic ingredient, and it's actually more cost efficient and has the exact same payoff. That, you know, it doesn't change the formulation at all. There were a few shades that we weren't able to match. I didn't feel they were matched 100%, so those I just delete and phase out. So, you know, I think my vegan fans and followers are gonna have to be a little bit patient as I sell through the existing product, because I think it would be wasteful just to throw it out into the landfills that are already overwhelmed with, you know, trash. Mm-hmm. So as those phase out, you know, anything that's coming out new is all vegan. So yeah, and I made it really easy for everybody. If you go to catbondybeauty.com, it shows you, we have a whole vegan tab, so you can already see what's already reformulated, and makes it so much easier. The most difficult part about being vegan was really looking at my clothing. You know, I think shoes are very hard to find, and shoes that are not using any, obviously, leather or adhesives made out of horse, like things like that. I think that was probably the hardest. I mean, and it is difficult. I mean, this year I decided just to create my own vegan shoe line because, because it really, and it wasn't so much about like, oh yeah, like I want to be a designer. It's more just like there's such a huge need for it. And granted, there are some vegan shoes that are they're just not my style, you know. I think, yeah, I consider myself a modern vegan, you know. I do like to wear lipstick, and I don't look like a hippie or not, and I think it's a good look too. It's just not for me. I've teamed up with Rebecca Mink, who has been doing couture vegan shoes for a long time. I mean, her price points are a lot different than mine are going to be, because I want this to be more accessible to people. But she has, you know, all the vegan production connections as far as factories and stuff. So it's all going to be made in Italy. And so yeah, I think I just finished submitting all my final sketches for the launching collection, and so we'll go into production now. So you know that takes time. Some shoes, some designs will take a little bit longer to create the prototypes, but yeah. So
maybe September.
Yeah, probably this year fall. Yeah.